Welcome to Season 3 of Sailing Sitka. I'm Kenna and this is Jay. We live aboard our 1976 Choi Lee sailboat named Sitka, in which we have sailed south from Canada in 2022 to the very last port of Mexico. This season, we are finally exiting Mexico and taking our boat further through the Panama Canal and into the beautiful Central American waters. Alongside us for this season is our pal Nico, who is taking along for the adventure because why the hell not? So hit that subscribe button and follow along, as this season we are sailing as far and wide as possible. You guys you make this happen and we couldn't do it without you. So thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode of Sailing Sitka, and I hope you enjoy. Thanks for popping in to this week's episode of Sailing Sitka. In this episode, we untie the lines here at Puesta del Sol in Nicaragua. Where are we headed, you're wondering? To a little place at the very south end of this country called San Juan Del Sur. First up was getting our boat off the dock, which typically is an easy task, except in this river, the current is so strong, we got pinned back onto the dock in a T formation when trying to leave. Finally, after Nick pushed with all of his might, we got Sitka off and motored close to the mouth of this river where it connects to the ocean. To leave Puesta del Sol, we must exit the river bar, which can be extremely sketchy at times, as the swells pile in on either side, creating breaking waves at an uncomfortable distance to our boat, Sitka. Jay stayed at the helm as he always does. Nick was on the bow, keeping a close eye out, and I was filming the nail-biting exit in the cockpit while we were attempting to get out into the big blue. Now is a good time to hit that subscribe button, sit back, and enjoy a passage video of us sailing down the coast of Nicaragua.
Alright, welcome to this episode. This is Jackass. I mean, it was this morning. So we went to start up the autopilot and it was showing no pilot. And normally, for those who have been longtime subscribers, first of all, thank you. And second of all, you guys know that we always have this one issue where the autopilot, if we can't get this screen open, which is the smart, show them the screen there, this guy, it means that one of the fuses on the CTOC on the brain is blown. It's just a 2-amp fuse, and we don't know why it blows. If anybody has the same issue, let us know. Once in a while, once every 3 months, we blow a fuse, whatever. It's a 5-cent fix, we put another fuse and it's fine. And in the past, we've had, while we're using it, no pilot. It shows no pilot, goes beep, 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 no pilot. Like this, which just happened. Fuck. So we talked too soon. We thought we had fixed it, but we don't. I'm gonna play more with it, but now there's hope. Now there's hope. So we were super happy, but now we're sad again because we have no autopilot. But all right, well, after an hour of troubleshooting, figured it out. So the issue was the CTOC cable that connects to the chart plotter, so the Raymarine. There's a cable that goes to here and then goes to basically a tri-gate CTOC cable, which is this guy here. And as you can see, I taped this one and I removed the other cable because it's useless. So this is the cable that was causing us issue. So once I removed that, now the autopilot works great. We can't use the autopilot through the chart plotter to follow a track, which, to be honest with you guys, we haven't done in years because that cable has been shitting the bed and being intermittent for a long time. So that's not a big issue. We always just use this guy anyways. So now we're back. The autopilot's been on working right now for at least I don't know, 10 minutes right now, and it hasn't lost pilot. So let's touch wood and make sure it stays that way. A little rough exit this morning. The tide, we had to leave at basically first light. The high tide was at 4:20 a.m. or 4:15 a.m. but the first light's only at 5:15, 5:20, and it was breaking pretty decent today. So anyways, as we were trying to get out of the marina, we had that's the one downside of having a hydrovane. They do recommend not putting the hydrovane rudder when entering and leaving marinas, but you don't really have a choice a lot of times. So anyways, the rudder was in the water, and normally we can still kind of maneuver out of places, but in this circumstance the current from the river was actually pushing us back towards the dock. So luckily Nick was there because he's stronger, because I think Kenna would have had a really hard time doing that, but Nick was able to pivot us basically, but it took a while, like, and we got real close. Like, if there was no fenders, we would have hit the dock, but we didn't break anything, we didn't hit the boat, luckily, because yeah, basically Nick was a human fender. Nick saved the day with his big guns. And then right after, like just before that too, we had just like figured out that the autopilot wasn't working, so I was like, fuck, is this gonna be one of those days? But no, now it's good. We got the autopilot set up. Back on Big Blue. Back on the Big Blue. So yeah, that's a little update for now. And should take about 26 hours at 5 knots. We left at like 6 a.m. So yeah, should be there around 8 a.m. to maybe 4 p.m. tomorrow, depending what speed we make. So if there is wind, we'll try to sail, obviously, but right now we have to motor. There's nothing. Any words?
I feel my seasickness.
Yeah, Kenna feels a little seasick right now. Kenna seems to have a harder time too when we are not at anchor, because obviously at anchor you kind of get your sea legs. But we've been at marinas, like we were in Marina on the Hard, then in Marina Chiapas, then went sailing for 3 days, 3 nights, 4 days, and she was pretty seasick. And now we were just in a river in a marina, so it's flat calm, and now it's pretty rolly. All right, guess what we're doing? Nick's feeling confident. He's flying his drone. Remember what happened last time we flew our drone at sea? But this time it won't happen. Because A, this is a way better drone. B, it's gonna be, we're gonna take off from the stern, and there's no wind right now, so I guess it's as good as any time to try it on. Last time we were actually sailing downwind in like 15 knots of wind, and it would have been epic to get some cool drone shots of Sitka sailing for you guys, but we're gonna start with baby steps here, and we're gonna try to film motor sailing, but give you a little bird's eye view perspective of what it looks like. And brought to you by Nick. So let's see how we go here.
Just like that, in the early afternoon, we found the wind, or I suppose the wind found us. It's a hard feeling to put into words, unless you're a sailor and have experienced it yourself. The exact moment when the engine shuts off, and just for a spare second, everything is perfect. If someone were to ask me to describe the word peaceful in my own way, I would say these exact words. When all you hear is the sound of the ocean and wind, propelling your boat forward ever so gently, and you're the only soul for miles upon miles. It's those moments that you strive to experience. You work day in and day out to get. This moment right here.
I'm whispering because if I talk too loud, we're gonna scare the wind away. It's like the sound we love to hear. There's like some decent sized swell for like no wind. That's why Nicaragua, I guess, is so good for surfing. Is all these swells, like get up on that shallow, all the reefs. There's so many reefs along this coast. so glorious. We got some good wind. We got Wilfred the hydrovane steering. And we're doing, what are we doing? 6.3, 6.4, 6.5. And this is why I have a tendency not to believe wind predictions around here. Honestly, since we left Bar de Navidad like last season, south of there in Mexico, it's never been accurate. Like, we look at all the models, and on Windy and Navionics, or sorry, on Predict Wind and Windy, and it was supposed to be like literally under 5 knots today. Like, and
can't make it up.
We're making 6.5 knots right now sailing with just white sails. So yeah, this is awesome. We're not complaining. It's amazing. But that's why sometimes, like, it's just, yeah, you got to get out there and see, I guess.
The wind stayed consistent into the early evening. It was my watch from 4 to 8 p.m. and the conditions were perfect. I was able to get out of my seasickness coma for a little while and appreciate the beauty that surrounded me. I love champagne sailing, especially in the evening when the sun is about to set and the air cools down all around us. I had an unexpected visitor while on my watch, a yellow-footed booby named George. They love landing on the spreaders of a mast to give their wings a little break, so we let them chill there until they poop in our cockpit. Nothing like an uneventful evening at sea, just you, your boat, and the wind, which started to become fluky as it usually does during this time.
All right, guys, well, the wind found us. Just had to go up. My hair's all soaked, not because I just took a shower, but because we just hit a little baby squall. I had to go put a reef in the main. We had already put 2 reefs in the Jenny, and yeah, went up on deck, put a reef in the main, and it got a little moist in here.
Got a little dicey.
Got a little moist. So got my bibs for the first time this season, just because the rest of my gear's completely soaked right now. So I'm gonna hang this bathing suit because it's wet. This gill coat is completely soaked. Also, I think this coat I've had since 2015 on my last boat, and I think it's at the point where it's not waterproof anymore. So I might need to get a new one at some point here. Down here I don't really care because it's hot. It's actually kind of chilly right now because we're wet, but yeah, no, I'm happy we can sail though. So we had to turn the motor on around 6:30 p.m. and we turned the motor off again at what, 12:30? Yeah, midnight. So it's not bad. Like, this is the best sail we've had in a long time. Like, we're able to sail like 6.5 hours today, and now I feel like we're going to be able to sail pretty much all the way up to there. So if this wind sticks, so that'd be nice. We have only, like, right now it's 2:30 and it says we're going to be there around 7:30. So we have like 5 hours left. So, and it seems like the wind's kind of dying off. Well, not dying off, but just, I'll probably leave the reef in the main and just unfurl a bit of Genoa if it calms down a bit. All right, that's the update.
Did you turn it off?
Torrential rain right now. That was the most torrential rain I've ever experienced. The sun's coming up right now. Looks like we'll have a bit more rain, but should be there in a few hours. Kenna's on watch right now. She's a little baby bird. Kenna's gear is actually still waterproof. These pants are, but my coat is like, might as well not be wearing nothing. Like, my shirt was completely soaked. Like, this black shirt, drenched. Anyways, the joys of sailing. At least the boat's got a fresh rinse, so that's nice. No salt water on the deck right now. Like, that was a proper rinse. Like, it was insane. I actually grabbed the scrub brush and cleaned the cockpit floor because it's gross. Anyways. All right, just about to get in here in San Juan del Sur. Definitely not the ideal conditions to get in anywhere. It's like pouring rain, but it's actually not too bad right now, but it's still pouring rain. You can see, I don't know if you can tell, but up top the mountain there is the statue of Jesus that it's super known for. Kind of like looks a bit like Brazil a bit, but yeah, we're entering in that bay here. But our chart plotter is no more for now, which is really shitty because we just bought brand new charts for it and those aren't cheap. But we're gonna try to factory reset it today or at some point, probably when it stops raining, which won't be today, I think. But yeah, looking forward to sleep. Haven't slept once yet in over 28 hours, so looking forward to some rest. But it won't be just yet, because once we get in, we gotta go to the port captain. But we're gonna wait an hour. I'm gonna have a coffee and we'll launch a dinghy and go in town. Yeah, not the best entrance so far. Kind of like decent sized swell on our starboard beam here and not the best visibility. And because I'm just using Navionics on my phone and my hands are soaking wet, I kind of have to use this rag to dry them so I can like actually see what's going on here. But luckily it's not a too hard of an entrance there. It's not like that river we just did. That would have been really shitty. And that's the advantage of a chart plotter, is you can just have it on the rain and it works fine. Any words of wisdom?
I don't know, I threw up all my bile, so.
Yeah, Kenna's been really seasick on this passage, so yeah, looking forward to being in and having the hook down. The one thing is it's not as hot with the rain. That's the one advantage, but that being said, we'll also have to have the hatches closed because it is pouring, people. Pouring. Hopefully this little clearing comes our way.
How you feeling, Kenna?
Fucked.
Woo! So we just got to San Juan Del Sur and it's raining. Just going by all the mooring balls and the pongas so we can go anchor.
We're not used to anchoring in the rain in Mexico. It was all dry. That water looks like that really scary river in India.
Does it?
What's it called?
Denial?
Yeah, no. Is that it? No, that's not in India. Yeah, 7.5. No, go ahead. Just like that, we were anchored in stormy San Juan del Sur. It turned out to be an extremely rough and rolly anchorage, one of which we wanted to leave early but almost weren't able to. More on that next week on Sailing Sitka. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all next Sunday.
I don't recommend exploring here by boat. Absolute paperwork nightmare to get in and out of every port, and the fees are insane. Like, you spend $400 US just in clearing in and out of ports here, and we've only been to 2 of them.
Thank you for watching this week's episode of Sailing Sitka. Stick around for more to come. If you enjoyed, please spread the love and let us know. Special thank you to our Patreon members for making these videos possible, as well as helping our dreams come true. See you all next week.